First of all, I'm sorry that teaching on dependent origination was cut into parts. The second part on the 12 links of dependent origination was 9 minutes. So it was cut off more or less in halfway the teaching. I think that memory card of the camera was not full enough, was full, not enough capacity. So I like to finish the teaching on dependent origination. First meeting was on what is samsara, the running around in automatic behavior, conditioned behavior, bringing us into several mental unwholesome states, dominated and kept in prison by the 12 links of dependent origination, and caused by ignorance, and from ignorance, which is not understanding the real reality. Real reality means it is arising, appearing and disappearing. That's all there is in relative reality. And ignorance means that we consider it as ultimate reality, really existing, while it is existing on causes and effects, in essence. And then I started with the 12 links of dependent origination, and because of ignorance, out of ignorance we create behavioral patterns that are based on attachment and grasping and holding and owning. And the other one is rejection or aversion, hiding, ignoring, and so on. And there are many kinds of aversion and many kinds of attachment. So this holds us in the 12 links of dependent origination, which I've said that 2 are on from the previous lives, ignorance and formation. 8 of them are manifesting in this life, and these 8 are also the birth or the formation for the next life. And this is birth and aging and death. And it all comes down to becoming. Becoming means creating the karmic result of virtuous and non-virtuous actions in this life, actions of body, speech and mind. Yeah? So the essence is not understanding our dependent origination reality, and from that comes contact with the outer world and feeling as a reaction, then craving and clinging and becoming. So these 4, contact, feeling, craving, clinging and becoming, these 5 are the actual activity that creates dependent origination. So I finished with that in the second meeting, and I made a beginning which was cut off unintentionally by how to get out of the samsaric circles of lives because of the dependent origination. And first what I mentioned was that wisdom is the beginning. Wisdom means understanding, studying, listening to our teachers, and the explanation on the relative reality of our life, which is beginning, the beginning of wisdom, as opposite of not understanding, which is ignorance. So we have to reflect and be mindful of our behavior. Is it caused and motivated by ignorance? That means propensities, not intentional, not aware, not being aware of the intention of our actions of body, speech and mind? Or is it a full consciousness, a full wisdom, what thrives my actions of body, speech and mind? Is it a customary, or is it a real, full conscious, mindful wisdom intention, what I'm doing? The actions of body, speech and mind. So this is the most important mindfulness, to be aware of our intentions. Is it out of wisdom, or is it out of propensities? So, and then I mentioned in the halfway the Eighth Noble Path, the Eightfold Noble Path, which is the first noble truth. The first noble truth that Buddha explained is there is suffering, that I've explained from the viewpoint of dependent origination. There's always suffering, always change, and therefore there's always the change of happiness and suffering. And the three causes of suffering are: there is change, there's obvious suffering, and there is the suffering of unconscious behavioral patterns that I've explained here from the viewpoint of dependent origination. There's the unknown, hidden suffering, so to speak, that are causing suffering and temporary happiness because they are unconscious behavioral patterns created by wholesome and unwholesome karma throughout many lives. This causes suffering and happiness in a constant change. So then there was the second noble truth is about ignorance, that I've explained. And the third noble truth is that there is a way out of samsara, out of dependent origination, and that's what I've explained as understanding, wisdom, study, meditating, contemplating, listening to teachers, and so on. So in other words, to put it simply, to develop insight and wisdom. And the Eightfold Noble Path is the fourth noble truth, and this is on the sutra level. It means that we, in our daily life, everybody can practice the Eightfold Noble Path. And the first one is the right vision, I've just explained. The second one is the right intention, the right motivation. I've explained this also, with the right mindfulness. So the right motivation means in our daily life, in our daily intentions, all of them, we want to give them a wholesome intention. It must contribute to peace and happiness for myself, and at the same time to other beings in my immediate surroundings, or every being that arises in my mind, for instance, through the social media. So right intention is whatever I think, whatever I say, whatever I do, must have the intention of peace, harmony, happiness for oneself and others. So this is the full development of wholesome karma. And this is the way out of the unintentional actions of body, speech and mind in the dependent origination, where we are not aware of our intentions of body, speech and mind, because they are automatically produced because of habits. So right intention is the clear intention and motivation. It is the right speech is the next one. Use words that are helping and supporting and kind and peaceful in my connection to others. The right action means having good intention, peaceful, bringing harmony, not bringing any damage to oneself or to others. And the right way of livelihood is whatever profession I have, it doesn't matter what is, that it serves for the service of myself and it serves the aims of others. So do not use your profession or your livelihood with the intention to damage of others. So these two are the right vision, right intention and wisdom. Intention and vision are the right vision on our existence. And the next one is ethical behavior, which is also one of the paramitas. Right effort, try to arise wholesome thoughts. Do not give a response to the upcoming of unwholesome thoughts, and if unwholesome thoughts are arising, try to diminish them, try to finish them, and the right effort is try to arise to produce wholesome thoughts, wholesome feelings, and try to continue them. So this is also about positive and negative formation of karma, which is the trigger for next life. So for that we need the right mindfulness, the right attention, the right concentration, the right awareness, and we need the right meditation. Every emotion, every pain, every feeling, every thought, every mental formation is in fact material for meditation. To be aware, calm abiding, to reflect, to experience, to control. So this is bringing meditation to your daily life. So these three, right effort, right awareness and concentration, and right meditation, is the ethical behavior. And this is also one of the paramis, the ethical behavior and the right vision, the paramita. And then we have 6, 7 and 8 of the Noble Path. That is the meditative concentration, that is the right effort, the right attention and the right meditation. These three are the attitude of meditative concentration. Right effort, right attention, concentration, and right meditation belong to the third aspect of the Eightfold Noble Path, and that is meditative concentration. And the other ones, right intention, right speech, right action, right way of livelihood, is ethical behavior. So here, this is maybe a correction of what I said before. So right vision, ethical behavior, and meditative concentration are the three parts on the 6 paramitas, which is the path of the paramis, or which is the Mahayana path. So this is a very important method and vision and awareness and practice to create wholesome karma and to diminish, to be in control of the contact through the senses with the outer world, and to be in control of the feelings and experiences. And all this wholesome karma, as just explained in the Eightfold Noble Path, is an excellent medicine against craving, clinging, and becoming in an automatic, subconscious behavioral way. It's very, very powerful path and help in our daily life to arise the becoming of positive, wholesome state of mind and body and speech. And this is therefore the most primary cause, the most important cause for a good quality of rebirth. Buddha was asked, can you explain or predict the quality of my next life? And then Buddha always answered, when you look at the quality of this life, then you know what was the quality of the previous lives. So, and if we consider ourselves, I think most of us maybe have good health, or if not good health, there's excellent medical care. We have good mental and intellectual capabilities. We live, hopefully, in a country where there is freedom of speech, freedom of religion, where there are religious teachers, where we have freedom of relationships and of livelihood, where there is no poverty or no war, or and so on. Of course, it's not a perfect society, but it means that the quality of our life is that we have many good conditions to have a meaningful life. And this is the result of the dependent origination and the links in this life and many previous lives. So, not following, clinging and grasping impulsively, and not creating, becoming, like engaging in virtuous and non-virtuous actions. These are the most important aspects of our mindfulness in our daily life. And it is the way out, it is the liberation from dependent origination, or at least we can have a very strong impact on the causes and effects of the qualities of our life. And this brings us peace and happiness. And as I've mentioned, or maybe mentioned not, then we will transfer our life from samsara, the running around in circles of behavior, into nirvana. Nirvana means the extinguishing of the behavioral patterns that causes suffering and causes problems, and that we are not able to escape from. And as soon as we are able to escape, to change our behavior for becoming on basis of virtuous actions of body, speech and mind, as just explained, then samsara, this repeating of behavioral patterns and propensities will slowly disappear, and then nirvana will arise. And nirvana means extinguishing behavioral patterns. Nirvana is extinguishing behavioral patterns. So, out of wisdom, we try to liberate ourselves and others from samsara, and the more we enter into nirvana, out of compassion, we don't want to abide in nirvana. We want to be meaningful and helpful to other beings, whatever and whoever that being is. So we do not abide in samsara, and we do not abide in nirvana. Because in Mahayana Buddhism, the motivation is not to accomplish anything solely for myself, but what I accomplish in my beneficial and wholesome and liberated mind is not only for my own happiness, but is at the same time meant to be for the happiness of others. And this is where the great joy and the great bliss and the great happiness is arising, and this is the most stable happiness and the most the greatest joy is to be of service, to be helpful, to support the happiness of others, and to enhance the qualities in myself, to be able to support and to help others to live happy and joyful and in peace and in harmony. This is the greatest joy. This is liberation from samsara. And this is almost close to enlightenment. But liberation means, everything that I've explained in these 3 meetings is liberate ourselves from the causes of dependent origination, which is ignorance, aversion and attachment, and then the contact and the craving and the clinging and becoming in a dominant negative way.